Welcome back to live coverage here of the Better Football Summer Tournament final between Titty and Victoria University Unicycles. It's just the start of the second half here, and the score is 2-1 to Titty. Apologies there for a slight technical delay, to not bring you the exact start of the half, but just to let everyone know, there was nothing missed there, just a few passes around, and now they're assessing the inflation of the ball. Not all the players are completely happy with the level of inflation there.
Giving that real Sunday League feel, right?
It's always the ball's fault. So, Titty in possession here. No major changes at half time to note. They've gone long there, and it's a good ball over the top, and the risky header there back to Kogel, who did well just to read it and catch that. He nicks it off the Unicycles right back, so it shapes up for a cross in. Let's overlap going. It's a good cross in and very tight shot there. It's always looping up from the first shot and wasn't very on target, but dangerous chance.
They've created a few chances there from that cut across goal. I wonder if that's something that they're aware of a Unicycle's flaw tactically and they're looking to exploit it, or whether it's something that they've been able to get quite a few goals over the course of the season.
Well, the first two goals in the first half did come from down the flanks on the right side, but Unicycle have just nicked it back here, and Greenwood full pace trying to get into that ball. He's done well to keep it in. Good cross in there, but lofted over. Good defensive header there by the left back of Titty. And true to style, they just calmly pass it out and work possession forward. In phases them, it looks like.
Fair to say a bit of nerves are really creeping in there for Titty, a bit of a defensive miscommunication. I wonder if the Cycles have got them a little bit frazzled.
Big cross in there, these large looping crosses are coming in. Singh did just cover himself slightly just in case it did come back in, but it seemed to be a tame cross in the end.
I think he jumped and tapped the net, maybe just for the cameras. Nobody knows he's on TV.
Singh does love the odd wonder save.
He's absolutely capable of them.
We're dropping deep again to link up play. Brings the ball forward, and it's a good attempted through ball. Good vision, but cleaned up nice and sharply there by Murray. Scarry again looking to make another change. Looks like Doyle will be going off. Replacing him will be Joe Bryan, who's already gone towards the short just to cover off any threat from a short corner. Off in long. Good defending there. Clearance just to keep it safe.
Got some slight difficulties there retrieving the ball. Titty climbing over the defence. I think I would have pulled my hamstring doing that.
I think you'd have pulled your hamstring for a lot less, Joe. Richard just got the ball and calmly sets it back into his defenders. Look up, moving forward back into midfield, and it comes out to the left side and drives forward. Again, just forcing that through ball to no promise there, and the Unicycles clear.
It's fair to say a little bit panicky maybe from the Unicycles. I feel like they know the importance of this upcoming 10 minutes and then just not very sure of some of their clearances.
Chapman just taking too long on the ball there, but still they've managed to keep possession. Greenwood looks forward, pulls it back into the centre, and Unicycles done well there. And Titty centre back just aggressively goes in there for a foul and picks up a yellow for his trouble.
It was a little bit late there, but I think it was kind of a clever foul. I think you could really see the danger that Cycles were about to create. So very smart tactical foul. I think very Pep Guardiola-esque.
Well, certainly wouldn't to accuse anyone of rotational fouling, Joe.
I'm going to get myself in trouble.
Get yourself in trouble there, but Fairmaid has booked the player. And that will then mean one of the two centre-backs is now in a yellow card, which is always a precarious position. Ball's just dropped down here.
Maybe not quite the angle that they would like.
No, it is quite straight on, but it is lofted in, and Brunic spills, and that is a second equaliser. Fantastic follow-up there.
A little bit unlucky for Praneet Singh. It was hit straight at him, but it seemed to just kind of bounce off of the gloves onto his chest, onto the floor, and it was a tap in for, I believe it was Koydin.
Yes, you're right, that was Koydin who has scored, and it was really good play there. Again, set pieces looking dangerous for the Unicycles, and I think we talked about that earlier, didn't we, Joe, in terms of this could be a route back into them into this game.
And look at us now, 2-2, and it's absolutely game on. This is cup final football, and that's why they call this better football.
The Unicycles have picked up a bit of energy now and run it out wide. Just run into a bit of traffic there. They're sitting much deeper than they have done in the first half. Picks it up, Chapman just holds it up and does well. His arms flailing around there. Fairmaid calls up the foul. He gives it to Titty and books Chapman for some dissent there. Obviously felt that Titty had started the fouling before he retaliated. This game's heating up, Joe. Do you think it's going to affect the way they play?
Well, I think the deciding factor for who may end as champions, it's a bit of a mentality game now. Who can Man City deal with the pressure of being favourites, going 2 goals up and then making it 2-2, or can Unicycles continue to be really aggressive with this? I think they've got them on the back foot. I think Man City are a little bit frazzled.
Fairmaid having to do quite a bit of officiating just to control the game. He's pulled it back the free kick 2 times now to make sure it's taken on his whistle.
A couple of vulgarities there, so sorry if that was picked up on the camera.
He just lumps it back in, but Kogel easy save and urged to stay calm and to build up play slowly from the Unicycles. So Martin, long ball over the top. Din chasing forward and lands just behind him. Holds it up well. Brings it forward again. Great build-up play and another great through ball. It's a 2-on-1, and Singh with a fantastic save there. A bit of confusion from the looks of it between Greenwood and Higgins.
Could that be the opportunity that they look back on and rue? But that was fantastic coming off his line by Praneet Singh.
Could well be, Joe. I think that was that was the one. If they'd gone ahead with a goal there, I think we would have seen a very different response from Man City. As it is, it's a corner. Lining up here. Man City look to be now marking man on man. It's lofted in, middle of the box. Din with a header and great clearance off the line from the left back. That was a fantastic header there. It was darting right into the top corner. It's still in play here. Great play down the wing to keep the ball in, but it's now out for a throw.
Isn't that really nice to see though? They're having fun. You could hear the cheers from the Cycles bench with the nutmeg. This is what you love to see.
The Cycles throw in there, and there's a lot more joy in this second half in the opposition box, but this looks to be a break from Man City. He's still holding and checking back his pace, and good pace there by the right wing back to come all the way forward. Cleared by the Unicycles. Did well though, they've actually kept possession here in the middle of the park and they're still trying to build it up. Ball pass there. And Titty are back. Richards on the left just chipped over the top, and Kogel's got an easy catch, although Fairmaid has called that back for a free kick in the centre of the park to Man City.
Yeah, I think it was really clever play by the referee, allowing play to run. The advantage was clear, and they didn't really get enough of an advantage from it. So it was the right thing to do for Fairmaid to call it back. Strong referee. He's had a great refereeing performance actually. He's been very clear on boundaries.
Lost it in there. Chase down. Kogel leaves. Easy bounce out for a goal kick. If it stays like this, the score would go straight to penalties. There's no extra time in this format. It's an 80-minute game, and as you may have noticed, rolling substitutions, which does add a different element to the game. Do you think rolling substitutions is an advantage, this format of the game, Joe?
Personally, for me, I'm very much appreciative of it as a guy with 10-minute bursts of fitness. I like what rolling substitutions bring. I think it's really good and creates a lot of flexibility for managers to change their approach. Although it is something that can easily be abused as well. If some team has 1 sub, some team has 6 subs, then, well, you know that there could be a problem.
I think 10 minutes burst of fitness, Joe, is rather optimistic for me. I certainly haven't seen 10 minutes.
My lungs last 10 minutes, but my calves don't.
Chapman there just calling for a throw rather than a goal kick, but so it has been taken as such. Richards has just dropped back into what looks like a centre-back position, and Bagat's just come a bit further forward. It's just lifted over the top now. Great touch there on the right side, but well defended by Apana. Another sub's being called. Chapman's come off on the left side here, and coming on. It's a bit of a scrappy piece of play down this left-hand side, and it's back out for a throw.
I wonder if that pass that we saw earlier is indicative of a change in style of play for Man Titty. They had been playing very slow, patient passing, short passes, but we did see a bit of a hint of a long ball, and I wonder if they're changing up a bit.
Good play there by Doyle, who just pushes it through, and then Greenwood just couldn't keep it under control, but it's brilliant energy there to keep it going. He has actually managed to nick it and moved it into the centre of the box and created a chance. Fantastic there. Higgins just wasn't able to make much of the opportunity. That was all Greenwood there on the left-hand side, just using all of his energy to make sure that he got something out of it in the end.
Cycles are appealing for VAR, but unfortunately there's none for better football. I wasn't sure if that was a penalty though. It did seem as though he took a touch and it went out for a goal kick, and maybe he made a little bit of a meal out of Praneek's attempt at a save.
I think on first glance it didn't really look like a penalty, and so the referees decided that way. There are a few people still remonstrating, but we've seen the yellow card for dissent so far, so there's not as much veracity behind those remonstrations. Good ball into the centre of the park there. He decides to chip over the top. Greenwood has calls for offside, and then it's been given by Fairmade. Not happy with the quick free kick there.
Almost caught the cameraman out with a quick free kick as well.
They're just having a chat here with Richards, the centre back, about the ground rules, let's say. Richards isn't so happy about it. Good ball in though to Rawiru, holds it up again. So really good at holding it up this whole game. The Cycles make easy work of that, and Higgins has just lofted it forward. Greenwood's through here. This time he's definitely onside. He's got this left side and he takes a shot, but it's a sliced effort wide. There wasn't anyone in the box, but it was a bit of a lash at the ball.
He had a bit of time there, but instead he decided to go to the kitchen, make some sandwiches, and slice some cucumbers.
You've done a few of those in your time, Joe, and you'll have a good cucumber sandwich. Man Titty just working out on the left side here. Maria again with that, dropping in deep with the hold-up play and making the play work, linking it all up really well. Nice smooth and clean passing style is still in operation, but the Unicycles have just managed to get much more physical in this second half and started to really make a bit more of a problem, and just broken here on the right side from Man Titty. Good defending, but still in possession. And that looks to be a foul, and that's a penalty. That was a clear lunge from behind, and from first glance we thought that was a penalty, and so did the referee, and that has been... Oh, it's not been given as a penalty. It looks like it's been given as a free kick on just on the edge of the box.
It was really close. I felt like it might have been just inside the penalty area.
I got to say, Joe, I think I do agree.
I feel like Man Titty could be quite aggrieved by that.
Yeah.
Let's see if that's
enough,
the
there's
difference
not as much remonstration this time. But, yeah, could that be one of the first errors by Fairmaid in this game?
Well, let's not let that take away from what has been a magnificent refereeing performance. I think he's been very good at directing and handling objections from the players of both sides.
Especially as it's got more heated recently. Free kick lofted in by Man Titty. Nice header out by Martin, who bangs edge of the box, and nicely cleaned up by Hamilton. What do you think's happening to Man Titty at the moment? Do you think that they've lost some of their steel and nerve, or looking a bit more frazzled?
I think they're a bit flustered. I think they probably expect this game to be a bit easier than it has been, which is all credit to the Cycles. But in saying that, they've dominated the last few minutes, they've created a few chances, could have very well had a penalty, right? And I feel like they've got confidence in themselves that I don't think that this will last.
They have shown in previous games, Man City, that when they aren't necessarily dominating, they have been tight run games. Their previous cup group against Summer Rangers, they won 3-2, but it was a close run affair, and shortly after they played Tim's boys and lost that game 1-2 to them, which was very much an upset in that cup group. So confidence does work both ways. Some good clearance there, but left out to the Man City midfielder, who goes for the shot, and there's a lot of hassling in trying to jockey for position. Fairmaid gives the decision in the favour of the Unicycles, and books number 17 of Man City for descent, much to the pleasure of the Victoria University Unicycle team.
I really think that they're getting a bit flustered today, and Fairmaid, is doing the right thing by creating descent, by carding for descent. You had this under great control, but you hope you don't see it, right? But it does show that Cycles are getting under their skin.
It does show that, yeah. Number 29 Murray has just come onto the left-hand side. He did start the game at left wing back, and it looks like he's probably just swapped over. Good pressure there by Rui, but no turnover in possession until deeper down in the pitch. And again, nice calm play. Adam on the ball onto the side, onto the wing where Zaraf's got space to cross it in. Good chip cross, taking it down but didn't, and big jockey there for a penalty. Big appeals. Did look a bit soft and maybe looked like he was trying to buy that one.
I think the roly-poly didn't help.
And that's
Great
a good
save
shot there. Great save there by Kogel to deny what would have been against the run of play leader there from Man City.
I think it I think it deflected off Rauri as well. So I think this actually shows even better goalkeeping, because the deflection means that he's not anticipating the change of direction. So great quick reactions from the goalkeeper there.
Kogel under pressure there, and it's just lofted in, but great defending there by the Unicycles, and nice chip back in. Great save by Kogel, and pounce on it.
That was a very confident save there. With one hand, he was able to stop it from going past him, and then comfortably reacted really quickly to catch it, despite the pressure from Man City.
This kind of performance will just give his team a lot of confidence. Definitely grown into the game, Kogel, since his early fidgety sort of moves on the edge of the box that led to spills in possession. Chances created, but Man City nonetheless carrying on with their possession style of play. Zaraf here on the right side, lays it out to the wing. Right, play it back to Richards, who's now playing in that centre-back position. Two centre-backs are completely changed from the start of the game. And the long ball was unsuccessful there, but Zaraf has just worked hard to win that back. Rauri with his back to goal looks for the option. Can't see the straight pass ahead, so looks to lay it off back again to Adam, who drives forward, lays it down to the wing. Good shape here by the Unicycles to try and frustrate the Man Titty attack. Adam lays off to Rauri on the right side, chip ball over the top, headed back out. And yet again Rauri takes possession, but isn't able to keep it in play.
He's been a real talisman for them today. It's great watching him on the ball. Great bit of footwork. He's been all over the pitch, and I think it's always nice as a as a midfielder when you look up and you know that he's going to be there.
Do you think that that's happening at the detriment to him being that target man and scoring the goals in this game?
Potentially. He has been restricted largely to shots from distance, right? But I believe, was it Rauri who did the left-footed strike in the bottom corner? So I mean, if he's still scoring goals, I think you can only see it as a plus.
Just got out for a throw on the right-hand side. Unicycles throw. Doyle will be taking this. So put it short into Burnett. Drives forward and still going. Drops to Greenwood, who turns and shoots, and tame shot at the end there.
Well held for anything.
Lobs it forward, and the wind is starting to pick up here in Wellington, and that card could start to affect the way that both teams do play. Good shielding there by Parna.
The wind feels like it could be advantageous to Man Titty, so we'll see what fruits come of that.
Their style has been predominant to keep it on the ground, which means they're effectively windproof from the elements, but that is changing a little bit. We are seeing a bit more aerial balls, especially coming out of defence.
Let's see if this windproof football can become windproof.
You can always rely on you, Joe, for the quick wit. Rawiri again holding it up and feeding that pass forward. The Unicycles are really bedded in now. Pretty much all bar two players in just outside their box, keeping it nice and compact. Din just picks that up and tries to sweep it out wide, but overhits the pass. That is out for a throw.
Interesting to see Din play a little bit further back. When he came on, he was initially a striker, and he created a few chances as well. But look, he looks to be playing in a bit more of a holding role. Do you think that's in response to the pressure, maybe?
Essentially, well, we do know Chris Scarry is a tinkerer. He does move his players around. He does like to create substitutions that keep you guessing in terms of exactly how he's going to play. The crowd here appreciating a good game. We've got a good few fans in on the right side. Looks like the students are in. Man Titty here have a free kick. She looks like a loft in the box. Quick dummy over. Lofted in. Clean header out. Greenwood's urged by his teammates to hold the ball, but instead he lofts it forward, and Higgins has got the ball and doesn't manage to make much out of it. Again, Titty in possession back in the opposition half. Good hit play by the Unicycles. They look a lot sharper in the tackle this second half. It's been quite physical play here, and well done by the Unicycles. And finally, after multiple hacks at his legs,
he definitely earned sorry to interrupt you there. He definitely earned the foul, but that was a bit of a theatric leap. So I'm glad that Jamie, the referee, saw fit to do the right thing.
There were 3 or 4 attempts at him before that where he could very much have won the foul, but he decided to keep going with his shimmies and turns. Martin's trying to keep the ball still here in the wind, so the wind does pick up here. The clouds just rolling in from the east now, and looks like there could be rain on the horizon. Greenwood just flicks that down, but unable to get under control. It's gone out for a throw-in. Left side. Sarah throws it back. Slightly messy there. Adam just picks it up and feeds it forward, and now there's a break on the right side. He's able to find the pass in the wing. Foul there by Man Titty. Well, not by Man Titty, in fact, by Unicycles, and that's going ahead. They've taken it really quickly and broken down that right side. But again, to no avail. Din is taking his time in the centre here just to pump it forward. and Bogart now has the ball in the centre circle. Oiri spreads it wide on the right side, so Raf picks it up. Plenty of space to get the ball in. Decides a lofted cross in, but not very threatening, not in the danger zone. Good move there by the number 14 for Uni. Burnett looks to be utilising all of his skills in that central area.
The last minute or two, Man City have really been using width very well, trying to create space for themselves, and I think probably exploiting the weakness in the wing play that we saw that led to a couple of their goals. Well, led to one of the goals.
Yeah, they have reverted to try and getting some joy down the wings. It has brought them 2 goals in that first half, but since then the attacks have been less dangerous. Certainly the Unicycles are much more on top in this game now. Rui feeds it through, great ball. Kogel's easy save in the end. It's a tame shot with not much danger in where it was placed.
Very well held by the goalkeeper. It was good to see the striker open up his body to try and curl it around him, and the keeper used his positioning very well.
Rawi yet again showing his ability to feed and create that play and interlink. It's telling he hasn't actually been substituted yet in this game. He has been kept on there for that reason alone. Mantilli again, possession in the opposition half. Rawi was back to goal, lays it off again, and cycles sharp onto it, but again have lost possession, and then scrappily have picked it back up. Looking a bit sloppy here, this Unicycles, and just not really keeping hold of the ball cleanly. It's allowing Mantilli just to get back at them along the flanks here, and seeing that passing style working, just interplay between the centre and the flanks. It's a shot here from the left back, and tame effort in the end. Easy for Kogel to clean up.
He's having a great performance there, Kogel. He's had some very safe hands this game. And I think as a player, you look at your goalkeeper to kind of save you in those key moments. And in the cup final, I think he's made a few good saves that have given his team a platform to come back into the game.
Hamilton's just shanked that out for a throw-in. It looks like they're calling for substitutions, and Mantilli have just made a substitution. Din has just come on. Oh, sorry, Din has just come off, I should say, and that has allowed Apana to come back on. At the moment, we've got Apana and Martin as the 2 centre backs. It wasn't claimed by anyone, and Grimm pushes it forward. Rosenberg is chasing that down, but Singh managed to clear out to the left side, and good pressure there by the Unicycles, and that hassle and harrying kind of approach is proving to give them a few chances.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this could be the opportunity for Cycles to get back into it. We saw in the last game that they were fighting until the end, and they seem to be kind of late bloomers into games, despite the rumoured fitness levels in the team. So it'll be really interesting to see if they can keep this up and maybe fashion a goal.
Shouts for a handball there, but Fairmaid plays advantage to Mantilli, which has worked out really well. The break is on his right hand side. Rawiri and his other striker is in the centre here. He picks it up, checks in and lays it off again, and there's an easy cross to come in, lofted but to nobody in particular, and Hamilton clears over the bar.
Hamilton's been quite composed at the back. There's a few headed clearances that he's done for the team. He's a bit of a unit, so it's kind of very comforting as a goalkeeper myself to have a defender of his calibre there for tidying up.
It is odd to see a player of his size placed at the right back position. It's very much like Dan Byrne of Brighton. Lofted in but over the top, and hasn't created any chance there for Mantilli.
I think Dan Byrne will be very pleased with that comparison.
Mantilli look to have not really capitalised on their corners. They haven't created any solid chances out the back of that. Is there any particular reason, Joe, that they are struggling for this at the moment?
I think you can see, if you're looking at the defenders of the Unicycles and the strikers of Mantilli, there is a bit of a size mismatch, and I just feel as though the Unicycles have been very organised and have the height advantage to make these clearances when needed. Man Titty struck me as a bit more of a technical side, and you may have seen it there. Shook the camera.
That was a tape shot from quite far out.
I think goal could be very happy to see those.
Yeah, well, you know, wide and low is perfect. Koval urges his defenders up. He'll be going along on this kick and chucks it in there. Big challenge in the centre of the park, and Greenwood looks to try and get the ball back. But again, Rauri on the ball. Calm presence. Lays off the easy pass. Through balls, through the legs. Richards just pulls it through. Rauri's back on it again. He's given himself space. Wasn't enough to work the shot up, but Man Titty have kept it there. Showing extreme levels of patience here to try and create the chance. Rauri just chasing that down, but Carter just clears nice and safely.
It's good to see at this stage of the game there's still a little bit of energy left in both sets of legs.
I think those rolling substitutions are working for them. At the moment it looks like Victoria University are holding 3 subs on the bench. Man Titty look to be having 2 from the looks of it. Frustration there from Doyle on the right wing. Thought that was the break that was going to bring them forward, and certainly Greenwood and Rosenberg were shaping up to just break forward. That counter-attacking pace is still dangerous to Man Titty here. Man Titty throw. Man Titty had a strange start to their cup group results. They had a 5-0 default over Chin United, which gave them one less game to really play before they got into this cup final, and potentially could have affected their run-in in terms of their form. Having that break in the middle maybe didn't help with trying to recover some of their form. Now, plenty of players in the box, just the 2 centre backs back. Rauri slips it through. It's a chunk on goal, and Koval has seen that go wide.
Given a penalty.
Jeremy Fairmaid has given a penalty. Chris Garrett is apoplectic with that decision. He's absolutely fired up. He's remonstrating with the referee about the fact that there was a very similar challenge at the other end that wasn't given. But this is very much against the run of play.
I think if you look at the 2 decisions in isolation, I have to side with the referee there.
Rauri lines it up and slots it into the right side. Koval went the right way, but was unable to get anywhere close to that power of a shot. Well placed, very good penalty in the end.
That was a very well placed penalty into the top corner. Really unfortunate, I think, from the Vic Unicycles perspective, and you can see Chris Garrett, the manager, really pushing him on. Let's hope that there's still enough time to get another goal back in this.
What did you think about the penalty decision, Joe? You think it was fair?
Yeah, I think it was fair. I think there's a bit of loose legs in the box. I wonder if.
I think it's safe to say the heat in the game has gone up. There's a lot more noise, a lot more arguing with the referee about small fouls, and a lot more professional fouls being made. Certainly more chatter between the 2 opposition players and about various things. So this is shaping up to be quite the game. We've got the last 20 or so minutes.
This set piece was similar from the goal that they scored. So let's see if they can do the same again.
Lost it in there by Doyle. It's laid back. Good shot, but way over the top. Just lining up there for Burnett to shape over the top of that, but he just couldn't get his head over it. So taking his time there, he goes for the short pass. Richard just brings it out. Partner heads forward. Slightly high foot there, but way forward by the referee who's let them play on. The right side now. good lofted ball in there. Singh judging that and just safely catching that in the end.
That'll be good for Singh's confidence as well after spilling the free kick that led to the second goal. And that was a nice clean save.
Easy throw out. He's back to goal. Again, there's breaks on. 3 players ahead of him. There's a left side. Sprayed out to the left. Just runs into traffic there, but still managed to get out with a break forward, and it's on this left side of the box. Cut back. Pull forward, and again he's got another chance on the left side. This time he turns. Cuts it in, but to no avail. Unicycles have an easy chance just to work the ball forward into the midfield, and quickly won and back again by Man City. And Zaraf is on the right hand side here. Uses his surrounding players like Adam, who looks to be playing a little bit like a central defensive midfielder position. He's come out of centre back early on. Worked down the right hand side here. Calmly put into the centre there. Castle just clears. Zaraf into the centre. Good layoff. Tries to flick it through to Rui with no joy. Unicycles trying to keep possession with Zaraf snapping away at their heels. It's a long ball over the top that Dean's now going to go try and chase. They've still got it there. Burnett just trying to feed it back through again. And he's done it again. Greenwood's on by the looks of it. It's a left-footed shot, and it's a good save by Praneet, because that was rifling towards the right-hand corner.
That was absolutely fantastic. It was really great how they were able to make that opportunity with only 3 men against Man City's, I think it was 5 or 6. But credit to Greenwood there, although he about fashioning the chance for himself. The left-footed strike was hit with power and verve, and as you said, was going to the top corner. But it was really good to see Praneet with 2 hands cleanly catch it. Not an easy save to make.
It was not an easy save to make, and he did well to keep his hands on it, and then subsequently just completely sliced it out on the goal kick for a throw. So mixed fortunes there for the goalkeeper.
I think as a goalkeeper, I would take that order though.
Long ball forward by the Unicycles. Din lets it run over to the side and works his way into the middle. He's playing as a striker now, and Greenwood is in there. It's just lofted over. Well left by Praneet.
Yeah, I think that was a really tricky one for the goalkeeper, because it looked as though that could have snuck into the far post, but I think he assessed it really well and made the right decision. It's good to see this bit of pressure coming from the Vic Unicycles. It's good that they haven't, set down. They're really fighting for it.
Well, I think the Unicycles have been in that sort of rich goal-scoring vein recently. They've scored 9 goals in their last 3 cup games.
I can see some similarities as well to the last week versus Tim's boys, where Vic Uni were in the lead and then they conceded 2 goals, and there's a 1 goal advantage to Tim's boys, but then they got the all-decisive goal towards the end. So hey, they know that they can do it, and I think they have the belief, and I think that's what we're seeing today.
Interestingly enough, not as many substitutions in this second half by Chris Scarrett. Hamilton there showing his strength against Rawiri. Over with a long launch forward. Drops down to Burnett, but is unable to get it under control. Feeds out to the right from the Man City side. Zaraf has got space to run into and drives into the edge of the box here. He's going to the byline, cuts it back, and well defended there by Carter. Really good defending. Man City's still got really good play on the edge of the box here. They're keeping possession in dangerous areas until Adam wasn't able to feed through the necessary ball to release the strikers. Burnett calls a free kick there for Unicycles, pushing the back there from the Man City left winger. He's not happy about that decision, but they do have this goal buffer to protect themselves.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure on that. I think there was a slightly harsh foul to be given, as though they were giving it to each other.
Well, one back by Man City, and again, the amount of touches that we must have had today to score, to influence play, I should say, is phenomenal. It's been all over the place. But Vic Uni have just broken against the style of play here, just lofted over the top. Greenwood, left-footed crossing, well defended there by Zaraf, and that has gone out for a corner. Greenwood looking to shape up to take that quickly, but none of his teammates were in position to do so. It's lofted in. It's actually taken short. Burnett. Good dummy. Drives in. Driven. And in!
Oh, what a goal!
2 deflections taken in to the right side. It's 3-all. Great equaliser there from Burnett.
I think you have to really feel sorry for the goalkeeper there. 2 deflections and then tucked into the bottom corner. But hey, this is football and anything can happen.
What a final we have here. It is 3-all in the final between Vic Unicycles and Man Titty, and it really is all to play for. They have been at each other all game. Every time the Unicycles have gone behind, they have an answer.
I think,
and that gives penalties.
oh, the timing of the
last
equaliser.
goal was amazing. So, Joe, thoughts?
Wow, to be fair, I'm still in a bit of awe. I think Vic Uni are going to be absolutely buzzing with that. But hey, you know, penalty shootouts, it could go either way. You know, I think both teams are really technical. Both teams have great goalkeepers. So really, it could go anyone's way.
It's an interesting game, Joe, and extremely competitive. Scarrett is still fuming about the decision for the penalty. Respectfully, he's turned away, but God, the referee's been under some severe pressure. But Joe, what would you say who would you say has now got the advantage? Would you say the Unicycle late equaliser really going to go into this penalty shootout with their heads up high?
Yeah, absolutely. I think my money is actually going to be on the Unicycles for this. I think there's a bit of pressure that goes into going into a game as favourites, and I think to concede that goal in the very last minute of the game is actually going to be quite dampening onto the spirits of Man Titty. So yeah, very curious to see what happens here. But hey, it's a penalty shootout. Both teams very technical, so it could go either way.
Could go either way, and at the moment, they're both teams just lining up their penalty order. I wonder if it has played into both coaches' side about who would be taking penalty and which order. Scarrett kind of still having a discussion with his players about the decisions in the game. Chapman just looks unhappy for no reason.
I think to be fair to Scarrett, when he came over and when we called him on camera, he was asking. I think he was trying to gain clarity about who can take penalties. So, right, you know, whether it's. I mean, he didn't specifically say this, but I think it's about whether it's active players that run a pitch at a given time, or whether with the rolling subs rule you can bring subs on.
There's a lot of technicalities with rolling subs, and I don't think we've had a final go to penalties for well ever. I can imagine. Last year's was one in normal time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a bit gutting as well, though, that a final goes down to penalties. I think being the losing side in a penalty shootout in a cup final will always have that bit of feel to it. Although, you know, saying that Man Titty were literally seconds away from final glory and final victory, and only to have it kind of snatched away from them.
Well, Joe, I mean, I've been with you in the last penalty shootout we watched together, and I think that was quite a scarring experience for both of us. So, we'll be taking a quick break here while the two teams line up their penalty shootout, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes for live coverage of the final penalties between Vic Uni and Man Titty. At full time, it's 3-all. We look forward to seeing you soon. Jamie, are we taking that side? Yeah. Sorry. Let's go back and start.
Left foot.
So just finish, yeah. Alright, welcome back to the penalty shootout for the final of the Better Football Summer Tournament. Two teams here, Man Titty and Victoria University Unicycles, are going to be going head to head in a shootout. It'll be the best of 5, and if they're still equal after 5, it'll go to sudden death. And just to clarify, the teams that finish the game, the players on the pitch that finish the game, I should say, will be taking the shootout. There will be no substitutions for this. And Jamie Fairmaid, the referee, sorting out coin toss for who's to go first. The penalty will be taken on the right side of the pitch, the side that Man Titty were attacking in that second half.
I think the coin toss has evolved into a rock, paper, scissors competition.
Well, when you have no money.
All the money goes into production values.
So.
And it looks as though Man Titty will be taking the first penalty with the Vic Uni goalkeeper heading over.
Okay, we'll take the first, face the first shot. Singh looking fairly relaxed on the other side. He's all smiles. Gives us a wave to his fans. Kogel's just having a chat with Fairmaid about the state of the nets on this side, I believe.
Nice to see Praneet Singh wave to his goalkeeping coach.
He's going to need all the skills here. It's all down to the goalies who can win the match. Man Titty first. Take the first penalty kick. Well spotted, down on the right side. Kogel went the right way, but wasn't able to move anywhere closer to it than he did.
I think it's what you want from a penalty though. Well placed. It was near the corner of the goal and hit with power, and also very low as well, right? So not easy for a goalkeeper to get down. Mind games from the Man Titty goalkeeper.
Singh taking his hat off and jumping against the bar. Shoelace is being done here by, I think that is Doyle, to line up next. And Singh has saved it. Dived the right way and got really good hands behind it to get it back out.
Man, that was a fantastic save from Praneet Singh. Low to his right, 2 hands, and you know, I think probably Doyle might be a bit gutted about that penalty. While it was low, it had that lift that, you know, as a goalkeeper you haven't got to get down to the ground and really try and scoop. So, yeah.
Interesting. Adam to take the second penalty for Man Titty. The ball just rolled off the spot there. The Wellington wind doing its part to add tension here. Oh, and he's just off of that to the left side. It did come in off the post. It was risky business there from Adam.
That was almost like the perfect penalty though, to be fair. Had a bit of power on it, and you know, you can't really get much more bottom corner, can you?
No, you can't. Kogel didn't even make an attempt there to go for that. Lining up now is Din. Good, solid penalty there, top right hand side. Gave Singh absolutely no chance to get that back.
I kind of think that's what you want from a penalty though, right? And that's got to be good for the spirits of Vic Uni. I think penalties are a lot about mentality. And I think, you know, if they score, so if they fail to score that one, they would be in real trouble. Whereas the game could absolutely turn on its head here, depending on how this penalty goes.
Man Titty 2-1 up. Now 3, left side, strong shot, sent Kogel the wrong way.
This is some fantastic penalties that we've seen here, all with the exception of potentially Dole's one. Sorry, Shannon, to single you out there, but I think they've all been very well placed. Burnett
Steps up. He's been doing a lot of tricks and flicks in the game and showing what technical ability he has. Can he translate that to the single kick penalty? It's another save from Singh. That was a pretty poor penalty there from Burnett. It's just low and soft down the middle.
Yeah, Praneet had that covered, I think, the entire time. I don't think he could have really asked for a much easier penalty. It's looking a little bit grim now, particularly if this penalty goes in.
Yeah, the Man City have to score this, and that will put the pressure on Vic Uni to score theirs. And they have. They've sent the player, sent Kogel to the left. They are now 4-1 up.
I think that's it. There's a penalty shootout. It's done.
Oh, they're
4-1.
Sure, I lost count there. It is 4-1, and therefore Man City have won the second time in a row the Better Football Summer Tournament final. Shaking hands all round from the players. Played with good spirits in the end, with a lot of ferocity, but very, very tight game in the end, and a fantastic last-minute equaliser in the normal time to send us into penalties.
I think we've been very lucky to see a fantastic game of football. You know, there was always the opportunity, well, there's always, you know, the chance going into this that Man City could have overwhelmed. And while I think, you know, on the balance of things, probably a fair outcome, I think Vic Uni can really hold their heads up high. They played very well. They didn't let the occasion get to them. They weren't intimidated by the opposition, and you know, I think they did their just desserts at the end of the final defensive goal.
Well, there you go. It's the final game there from the Better Football Summer Tournament. Thank you all for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk you through this cup final. There'll be a quick presentation of the cup, which will keep the stream running for, but I'll sign off now from myself and from Joe. Thank you very much.